Hey everybody, JCB here at the Awesomist, and you're watching the Awesomist YouTube channel. So here we are on day 43 of my 50 days of summer. I know there was a bit of a gap between the last video and this one. I've just been busy, although I guess we could count my Six Flags wish list video as one, and also my reaction to the Six Flags announcement video as another one. So it's not really fair, but screw it. Today's the 45th day of my 50 days of summer, and I definitely have way more than 5 videos already filmed and just sitting on my camera, ready to go. And most of those were filmed during summer. I just haven't had any time to edit because of work and house stuff. Anyway, this video that I've crammed myself back into my studio surrounded by boxes, and there's a TV stand on its side full of board games and books off to the left here, just stacked up, all teetering on edge like. I'm back in here to do a video because this one's on kind of a time limit. Basically, I got an email. A while back, I did a video review of a no-tie shoelacing system called Hickies, and it ended up being one of my most successful videos to date. So I was happy when the folks at Xpand, another alternative no-tie shoelace system, emailed me and asked if I could do a review about their product as well. So that's why I'm taking time out of the whole doing my house project, which is taking forever, to create something for you guys. I hope you appreciate it. I jumped at the chance to do what is essentially a sequel to one of my most popular videos, and I do want to say this video is not sponsored. The folks at Xpand haven't paid me any money or told me I have to say anything specific. This will still be my own personal opinion, but full disclosure, they did give me 2 sets of Xpand laces to try out for the review, so I got that going for me, which is nice. So let's unbox these things and check them out. They come in a sort of Stay Fresh Ziploc bag, which is kind of neat, though I'm not sure why it needs to be resealable. Here's what they look like. It appears to be some shoelaces and some plastic clips. Oh, I should say the reason I'm interested in these things is not because I don't know how to tie my shoe, although that is a popular misconception. I do in fact know how to tie my shoes, I just hate tying my shoes. I'm really lazy, and in all honesty, shoelaces are horrible. They just ruin the look of a shoe. When you think about it, it's 2019 and we're still using a piece of string tied in a knot to hold our shoes to our feet, and it just looks sloppy. It's very likely that the first ever pair of shoes were just like big leaves tied to our feet using pieces of string, and here we are thousands of years later still tying things to our shoes with pieces of string. It's very weird when you think about it too much, so I wouldn't recommend it. But Velcro shoes on an adult are typically signals of some kind of learning disorder, and slip-on shoes are often just too casual. So there's really no way to preserve the beautiful design of a really nice pair of shoes without having all these stupid hoops and knots in them. Until now. Xpands are stretchy shoelaces that clip into your shoes instead of tying in a knot. And installation is a breeze. Hey guys, it's me from like 3 hours from now while I'm editing this, and I just want to say that effect you just saw, that transition, yeah, that one, that was not a breeze, and I have nobody to blame but myself, because normally when I do any kind of visual effects, I put the camera on a tripod like a smart person, but for some reason when I decided to do that stupid touch thing, I thought, well, I can handhold this, I'll just line everything up on the grid, it'll be fine. No, it's not fine. It was a nightmare. I had to try to match cut. It should have been simple to match cut. It would have been if I had a tripod, but because I was holding it in my shaky Michael J. Fox hands, everything was all messed up, and I had to like correct the size and overlap the images so I could see that everything lined up exactly where it was supposed to, and then I had to do a stabilizer on it, I had to do a freaking crossfade, plus a morph transition, all in this one clip, and it still looked like garbage. So I had to download this like magic effect off YouTube, which is free, but also kind of crappy, but it hid the mistakes, at least well enough where you didn't notice it until I pointed it out, and it just looks like this, which is still not great. But anyway, back to you, Josh, 3 hours ago. Thanks me from 3 hours from now. So here's how the actual installation works. You basically lace your shoes the way you always do. It's when you get all the way to the top that things are a little different. I like using what they call the hidden or stealth mode, so that's what I did here. Basically, when you get to the top, you need to enter from the outside in. Then put your shoes on and adjust them to the proper tightness so that they don't hurt, but they're also not going to fall off your foot. And here's where the little plastic clips come in. You fish your laces through the bottom hole, and then out the upper hole. You then wrap the lace over the teeth on top and pop the remainder into this little cutout section. Now, Xpand recommends that you tie them like normal and wear them this way for about a day, or at the very least a couple of hours, to make sure that your shoes are comfortable. This way, you'll know they're not too tight or so loose that they fly off the first time you try to kick somebody in the face before you finalize your installation. That said, I did not do that. I kind of put them on and was like, oh, that's a little too tight. So I loosened it a little bit, put it back on, was like, that feels good. Finalized the installation and everything's been fine. It's been about a week and I never had any discomfort at all. To finalize the installation, you simply cut the excess laces off, leaving about an inch or so of extra. Then you burn the end with a flame to keep the ends from fraying. And just like that, your no-tie laces are installed and you can easily slip your shoes on or off, no problem. Here are my shoes. The one on the right has the Xpands, while the one on the left I tried to tie as nice of a knot as I possibly could. It still doesn't look as sleek or clean as the Xpands though. And here are both shoes with the Xpands. They work really, really well. So now the question obviously becomes, which one do I like more, Hickies or Xpands? And I think both systems have pros and cons. For instance, a lot of people like to complain that Hickies break after 3 or 4 months of daily wear, but for all I know, the Xpands might break after that long too. I mean, regular shoelaces break if you wear them out, so I don't know if that's even a valid complaint to start with. I will say Hickies are way more obvious. When I was wearing my Hickies every day, eventually people would always notice my laces looked odd and ask me what was on my shoes. And then I'd have to go into the whole thing about how they're no-tie shoelace alternatives. And yes, I do in fact know how to tie my shoes, and sure, I guess they do look a little weird, and yeah, Hickies like the thing on your neck, yep. I'd become like a salesperson for Hickies, and I don't really want that. On the flip side, Xpands look just like regular shoelaces. So far, not one person has noticed my laces because there's nothing really to notice. They look normal. Hickies also had a break-in period of about 1 week before they were truly comfortable. I remember one night I took my shoes off and I can actually see indentations in my skin from where the Hickies were just kind of pressing down all day, and it never hurt so bad that I didn't want to wear my shoes, but it is definitely something I don't miss when using Xpands. Now, as far as pros go for Hickies, the installation was super easy. Just slide them and hook them. While the installation for Xpands was not this simple. In fact, it was a bit more involved and included the use of actual fire. So I guess it comes down to what do you value more. Hickies install quickly and easily, but people will notice them, and it takes about a week before they're comfortable. While Xpands are much more comfortable and stylish right off the bat, but the installation is a little more involved. So what do you think, Hickies or Xpands? Leave your comments down below. I think Hickies are fine for sporty shoes, but Xpands are where it's at if you need to look at all professional and don't want to look like Jimbo from The Simpsons with an extension cord tied around his waist. I mean, seriously, how have we moved past using ropes for belts, but we still use strings to keep shoes on our feet? It's weird. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. There are only 5 days left of my 50 days of summer, even though Labor Day was like a week ago. Anyway, like I said, all my videos were filmed over summer, and it's still over 95 degrees where I live, so as far as I'm concerned, it's still summer. Anyway, as I said, hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, keep being awesome.
Next. Can't wait to go on the new ride in 2020, guys. Nothing.
As Six Flags Magic Mountain launches its 20th coaster.
Nothing! Absolutely nothing! Stupid!
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.